You know what also happens on Thursdays here at CBS Mornings Plus?
Jill on Money.
That's right.
Jill on
Dollar,
Money.
dollar, Jill.
Big Money Watch with the one and only Jill Schlesinger. She's going to join us every week on Thursdays with her best financial tips. And this week she'll tell us how parents can save cash and how hard that can be. So you've got 2 kids. I have 4 kids.
It's a lot.
It's very pricey.
Yeah.
Where do we even begin?
Like the tortoise, slow and steady.
Okay.
Amen.
Right?
See it all.
See how we weave that
So
all
Shauna knows
together?
what she's
See, it
doing.
all
Yeah.
comes together. That's for you, Shauna. So listen, we always start with a very basic fact that it's hard to save unless you know how much you spend. So now I'm going to give you that tough lesson, which is track your spending. When you track your spending, you're then figuring out what's going where and how much you have available to actually save. And to some extent, you don't have to do this on your own. There are bank apps. There's plenty of apps that are free. It's all good. But the reality is we need people to focus on 3 big action items. Number 1, we want people to pay down outstanding debt. We know that debt levels are drifting up a little bit. That's an important factor here. But we also want you to have an emergency reserve fund. That's usually 6 to 12 months of your living expenses. I know that sounds like a lot, right? But
It's going to take me 6 to 12 years just to get that.
well, we're going to strive for that.
Okay.
But you need a safety net. I mean, just look at what's going on in the world. If you're a dock worker and you're on strike, you need a little emergency reserve fund, right? So the other thing is to try to contribute to retirement to the best of your ability. All these things should be happening even before you start saving for your kids.
So a lot of people are going to be looking at that and thinking, that's all well and good, but I'm working paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm not getting it. I'm not working in any of those buckets. And one of the issues I think people have is that maybe one year you do a little better and you have some luxuries in your life. Those luxuries suddenly feel like necessities and you don't want to cut. How do you advise people to make those cuts when they need to shrink?
Yeah, you know, when I was a financial advisor 100 years ago, we used to call this lifestyle drift. And you have a couple good years, things are great, and then all of a sudden something happens and your industry changes, your job changes, your circumstances change. So what we want you to do is get in the habit of saving. And when I think about this, I think that this is one of those things that the sooner you start, the better it is, right? So if we're talking about the big 3 and you're addressing that, that's great. But if you want to start saving a little bit at a time, especially for your kids, there's a few different ways to get there. You know, you can open up what's called a custodial account. Now, what's interesting about a custodial account, it's sort of interesting because you save money for the kids, but at the time they become the age of majority, which is somewhere between 18 and 23, depending on your actual state of residence. So this is the wrong graphic. I'm just going to say that we're going to go with how you save. And a custodial account is essentially saving. There we go. We have the way that you're in control until they become a certain age.
Okay.
Then the kid gets it. You can put money in a savings account, a high yield savings account, a CD can be used for anything. But remember, kid turns 18, 19, 20. They
all
get
theirs.
that money.
Quickly, Jill, because this is like all over my social media. There are these parents saying, I have the secret to helping your kids save money. Make them an employee. We don't have that much time. But
Okay, so now let's go back to that other graphic. Because when your kid has earned income, you can actually have them save for a Roth IRA, meaning that they can put up to $7,000 away. And that money is for retirement, but they have to have earned income. This is the story of, make them an employee so they have earned income. Don't do that. Have them babysit. Have them get a quick job, do that, but don't make them an employee and don't lie about it because in general, we don't like lying to the government, gang. People catch up to that. So just have that savings habit start early. I promise we'll get to more of these tips going forward.
I feel like everyone's paying more taxes than me. You say don't lie to the government. It feels like everyone's lying to the government.
Well, I will just say this about that. If you're the one who does it and you get caught, it is a very uncomfortable situation. And it is usually, you're lying for a dumb reason.
Yeah.
And it does not pay off. So what I would tell you is, if you just take these very basic steps and automate these processes as much as you can,
Yes.
you'll be better off.
All right.
Jill, you'll be here every
We love
Thursday.
you.
We can't wait for that. And if you guys at home have a money-related question that you would like Jill to answer, you can talk to her. Email askjill@cbs.com. Sorry, the teleprompter kept going. And she could answer it in an upcoming segment.